Okay, just think about your company for a second. How many devices are we talking about right now? Laptops? Phones? Tablets? Hundreds? Maybe thousands. They're literally everywhere. So today, we're going to dive into this massive challenge of taming that tech jungle and figure out how companies keep all of those devices secure.
I mean, this is the question for any modern business, isn't it? It's not about a few computers sitting in an office anymore. We're talking about a global, remote workforce. And here's the kicker. Every single one of those devices is a potential open door for an attacker. The attack surface has it's exploded. So the solution has to be just as big.
All right, so let's really dig into this challenge. You know, the way we all work has completely changed in just the last few years. And that shift, while it's been great in a lot of ways, has created a whole new world of headaches for the folks in charge of IT and security.
And look, this flexibility is amazing for us as employees, isn't it? We can get work done from pretty much anywhere. But you've got to see it from the company side. For them, this is a massive logistical and security puzzle. Every single one of those places, every one of those devices, needs to be just as secure as if it were locked down inside corporate headquarters. So how on earth do you manage a problem that's everywhere all at once? Well, you need a solution that's also everywhere at once, and that's where the cloud comes into play. For a ton of companies, the answer is a cloud-based tool built for exactly this. And one of the biggest names in the game is Microsoft Intune.
Okay, so what is Intune really? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a universal remote control for all of your company's devices. Except, this remote control lives on the internet. It doesn't matter where a device is physically. As long as it has a connection, Intune can see it, it can apply rules to it, and it can help protect all that important company data.
And this is where you really start to see the power of it. It's not just for one kind of device. You can see it right here. Intune doesn't care what you use. Whether your team is on Windows PCs, MacBooks, Android phones, or iPads, Intune can handle all of it from one single central dashboard in the cloud. It's pretty incredible.
Okay, so how does a company even start with something like this? Well, think of it like building a secure digital headquarters. You can't just start putting up walls, right? You have to start with a rock-solid foundation, and that's exactly what we're going to look at now.
So the first two steps, you absolutely cannot skip these. First, you have to officially tell the cloud, hey, Intune is the one in charge here. It's like naming a single chief of security to avoid any confusion. And second, and this is so important, you have to connect it to the company's digital phone book, the system that knows who every single employee is.
And, you know, this quote really hits the nail on the head. This is the heart of modern security. It's not just about the device anymore. It's about the person using it. Before Intune can do anything to your laptop, it has to confirm it's really you. It needs to know for sure who you are. In this new world, all trust starts with identity.
All right, so the foundation is solid. The system knows who's who. What's next? Well, now it's time to actually start bringing people and all their different devices into the fold.
And the best part? The goal is to make all of this totally invisible to the employee. IT just flips a switch to turn on automatic enrollment. Then they give each user a license. You can think of it like their digital key card to get into the building. From there, all you have to do is sign into your new device with your work account, and bam, Intune handles everything else in the background. Now, this is a really important distinction. Companies have choices here, and it usually comes down to who owns the device. If it's a laptop the company bought for you, they'll probably use what's called MDM, or Mobile Device Management, to control the whole thing. But what about checking work email on your personal phone? I mean, you don't want your boss scrolling through your vacation photos, right? Of course not. That's where MAM, or Mobile Application Management, is perfect. Intune can create this secure little bubble just for the work apps and leave all your personal stuff completely alone.
Okay, so devices are connected, people are identified. Now it's time for the really important part. We've laid the foundation, we've opened the doors. Now we've got to build the security walls and post the guards to protect all that company data.
And this is where Intune really flexes its muscles. Companies can instantly push out security baselines. These are basically pre-made security settings recommended by Microsoft, which is a great starting point. They can create policies to make sure every single device has its antivirus on and its firewall up. And maybe most important of all, they can force every device to use encryption. This basically turns all your data into unreadable gibberish for anyone who doesn't have the key. So if that laptop gets lost or stolen, the data is safe.
So after all that, what's the end result? After all this setup, what does this secure managed world actually look like for the user and for the company?
For you, the person actually doing the work, it's beautifully simple. You get a new laptop, you sign in one time with your work email and password, and that's it. Everything else is just done for you. All the right apps appear, all the right security's in place, it all just works automatically.
And for the company, this is the grand prize. They now have this whole fleet of devices spread all across the globe that are secure, that are following the rules, and that they can see from one single screen. In a world of remote work and nonstop threats, that kind of control is, well, it's everything.
So, okay, Intune has done its job, right? The endpoints, the devices themselves, they're locked down and managed. But that just opens up the next big question, doesn't it? Securing the device is one huge piece of the puzzle, but what about the data itself? Especially when it's moving between apps and flying around in the cloud? Well, that's the next frontier we have to tackle in this tech jungle.